The special meeting to order, April 3rd at 1:01. Roll call. I'm supposed to do opening ceremonies, huh?
Yep.
Okay, we're going to do opening ceremonies. A moment of reflection and Pledge of Allegiance by Ms. Matoye. Okay.
Ready to begin? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, now roll call.
Ms. Snell?
Here.
Ms. Matoye?
Here.
Ms. Fleur?
Here.
Mr. Davenport?
Here.
Ms. Franco? Ms. Black? Ms. Yelsey?
Here.
Dr. Navarro?
Here.
Okay, so adoption of agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, the agenda's moved by Mrs. Fleur and seconded by Mrs. Matoye. All in favor?
Aye.
And any opposed? Okay, motion carries. So we're going to have community input on special agenda items only. So that would be, I have two cards.
So this is an opportunity for the public to address the board regarding items on the special meeting agenda. Each speaker has 3 minutes to address the board, and speakers may not cede unused time to other speakers. Per Board Policy 9323, there is a maximum of 20 minutes of comments per topic. With board consent, the president may increase or decrease the time allowed for public comments, depending on the topic and the number of persons wishing to speak. Depending upon the nature of the comments, the board president or superintendent may respond, or the president may call upon board members for brief comments, questions of clarification, provide a reference to staff or other resources for factual information, or request the superintendent to report back to the board at a subsequent meeting concerning the matter. All comments are recorded in full on the meeting video record, and DVD copies of the complete meetings are available to check out from the superintendent's office for 3 business days or for purchase for $1. When addressing the board, it is helpful if you state your name and address for the record.
Okay, so our first speaker is Jamie Thomas.
Good afternoon, board members and Superintendent Navarro. My name is Jamie Thomas. My address is 3162 Barbados Place. I'm here today as a parent of 2 students at California Elementary. My remarks will be short and to the point, and I realize that this list does not encompass the 8 points you are being evaluated on. However, since that list was not provided to many of us in a timely manner relating to lack of communications and community relations, that's unfortunate. Leadership is supposed to encompass the traits of integrity, accountability, transparency, and equality. In my opinion, these traits have been woefully lacking. From the very recent handling of the safety issue at California, to the disparate treatment of East Side schools versus West Side schools, to the many monetarily wasteful decisions made by the district, all of these issues can be traced back to ineffective leadership. I personally, along with many others, have struggled to bolster the reputation of California and Tewinkle within our neighborhood, and we have had success in doing so. Many of us are very proud of our school, and we would appreciate the district's help in improving community relations. Perhaps you have not had much participation from the California community in the past, but I can assure you that's changing. We are watching closely, and we will be vocal. I personally will fight not only for my 2 kids, but for each of the 431 students at our school, and that goes back to leadership, both from the board and the superintendent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Steve Smith.
Thank you, Mrs. Snow. Good afternoon, everyone. Mrs. Fleur, I was hoping maybe you and I could collaborate on a longer introduction to this section later on.
Absolutely. Normally, I'm going to read the whole.
Got a couple of new sections in there, I think. I am opposed to any additional compensation for anyone in this administration who is responsible for academic performance until a reasonable and specific set of goals for academic performance improvement is established and achieved. Thank you.
Thank you. Last speaker, Erica Roberts.
Good afternoon, members of the board. I'm here just to let you know that the community is watching and we want to have engagement from you. Vicki, I know a friend of mine sent me that you had a coffee meeting today with parents, and I think that's awesome. I would really encourage you, Dana, to do the same with us at Mariners, and we would happily invite you to come and just have a collaborative conversation so we can all really start talking about what one side is feeling and what you're hearing, because I think there is definitely some confusion out there, and it could help us. I wanted to talk to you about the LCAP very quickly. It says right here, it was redone, the ability to conduct ongoing evaluations, gather pertinent information from affected stakeholders, and make well-planned course corrections is one of the district's greatest strengths. That is concerning to me because I don't believe that that is one of our greatest strengths. As you can see from the meetings where teachers and parents are coming, and we're not coming here to give up time with our family, we're coming here to actually beg you to listen to what we're feeling and seeing. My heart went out to some of those families because it was very reminiscent of what was happening at Mariners at the time when we were going through our very big struggle and we were being told things that just weren't happening, and we were being told we would get reports and we didn't, and all of this other stuff. I did give you this very in-depth printout of the scores at the schools. I know some of you chose not to take it, but I would ask that you look at some of the schools on the west side, specifically College Park. It's staggering. Some of these kids are struggling so badly, and I want to share with you that with this piloting, that has to be on the forefront of your questions. Please ask where we are with this piloting. We're asking a lot of questions about wanting information, but we're not getting a lot of questions about the piloting. Ensign and other middle schools have literally packets. If you look at the State Board of Education on what we're supposed to be supplying to our kids, you're making teachers do way too much. My daughter started SWIN math in 3rd grade. She had it through 6th. Now in 7th and 8th, she gets packets. Now in high school, they're also going to be piloting next year. So her educational career in math has been very devastating, and we're taking on the burden of that expense, Dr. Navarro. This was on one of your last agendas a few months ago. It says that with the salary increase, Dr. Navarro is going to make $289,915. That is without his tax sheltered annuity, without a car allowance, technology allowance, and his benefits. The final thing I'll say is I would really, really like for you to engage the public in a survey. We know that you're in charge and you make the decisions, but we would like a survey on what we are feeling about the leadership in this district. Please have a comment section. Do it through SurveyMonkey. It takes 4 of you to do that. We would like that. Please listen to your constituents. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so with that, we will, oh, sorry, Mrs. Fleur.
Can we clarify a couple of items, especially in regards to what Erica just said about his salary? There is no car allowance, is that correct, Dr. Navarro? You no longer receive a car allowance, it's all rolled into your salary, is that correct?
Well, it's rolled into my salary, but it is part of my salary.
Right, but
Yes.
you pay taxes on that, correct?
Yes.
Who else gets car allowances?
Everyone that has to use their car in their district, so administrators, actually any teacher who has to drive from site to
So
site.
any teacher who is an itinerant teacher, like the music teachers, the science teachers,
Right.
PE teachers,
And they don't get an allowance, they get a reimbursement.
they get a reimbursement.
Right. That's
And
based on
there's
the federal
there's no limitation, but they get
Correct.
the difference between the two of them.
Right.
Who also gets a cell phone allowance, mobile phones?
All the administrators and anyone who has to be out of their office and be able to conduct business. So coordinators, special ed coordinators. We often will take into consideration any of the administrative assistants who have to use their cell phone to be in contact with their administrator.
Okay.
So we will do that, but that's on a recommendation by individual, purpose by school or by office.
Who else gets a PhD, if they have a PhD or a doctorate?
Every certificated employee gets a differential for their advanced degrees.
Okay,
as well as for national teacher certification.
that's my next question. So National Teachers receives additional?
Yes,
And we have one of the
5,000
highest percentages of national certified teachers in Orange County, is that
Yeah, the
correct?
first year you get it, I think it's a $5,000 at the start.
Okay, great, thank you. That's all I
Thank you.
wanted to
Thank
say.
you for your comments. And with that, we will adjourn into closed session.